Hello and welcome to Parton Station on the Cumbrian coastline. Today I've come around 38 miles to the southwest of Carlisle. The village of Parton itself is a couple of miles north of Whitehaven. With the railway station so close to the seafront, it's easy to explore the sandy beaches and rugged walks, and it's also a popular place to see a spectacular sunset across the waters of the Irish Sea. People have lived at Parton since at least Roman times, when the sheltered bay was used by boats serving a Roman fort on the high ground to the north of the present village. In the 18th century, Parton was home to coal mining, brewing, and glass-making industries. However, after a devastating storm in 1795, the harbour and industry declined. Parton subsequently became a small fishing port. Immediately to the north and the south of Parton Station, the line runs almost on the seashore, at the foot of the cliffs, which require supervision and occasional stabilisation to prevent landslides. Sea erosion is also a danger, and there's a 15-mile-an-hour speed restriction in force over much of the section between here and Harrington, which I will be visiting later. There are no permanent buildings on the station other than brick shelters on each platform. There's no step-free access available to either platform, and access to platform 2, which is the Carlisle-bound platform, is via a tunnel which runs underneath the railway and then up a flight of steps. There is generally an hourly service northbound to Carlisle and southbound to Whitehaven, with most of the trains going on to Barrow in Furness. There's also a few trains that operate to and from Lancaster. Parton Station is a request stop, so you have to indicate to the driver as the train approaches the station that you wish to board. The beach at Parton consists mostly of pebbles and rocks, although at low tide, sand becomes exposed. The beach is accessed through a tunnel which goes underneath the railway. It's a great spot for fossil hunting. The mix of shale and limestone material on the beach contains a variety of carboniferous fossils, such as plant remains, fish scales, and corals. There's been a port at Parton since Roman times due to the sheltered bay. Remnants of a Roman fort can still be seen above the beach. During the town's industrial heyday, glass bottles made in Parton were exported from the harbour as far south as London. Formerly a port and a mining centre, Parton is now purely residential, benefiting from its location between the A595 trunk road and the Cumbrian Coast Railway. This is a really spectacular view of the train as it weaves its way between Harrington and Parton. It's a single track section with a 15-mile-an-hour speed restriction, and it curves around the coast. There are spectacular views from the train out onto the Solway Firth. Well, I've walked the 2.5 miles from Parton to Harrington, and I've stopped in this elevated position overlooking the town with its magnificent view of the coast, the beach, and the railway station. Harrington Station came to national prominence back in 2008 when it was chosen as the initial site for the installation of an experimental ramp to raise the height of the platform to improve access to modern rolling stock. The town gave its name to this new invention, which was christened the Harrington Hump. The ramp was built for £25,000, which was 10% of the estimated cost of the conventional rebuilding that would have otherwise been required to make the platform fully DDA compliant. As was the case at Parton Station, this station is also unstaffed, like a number of others on the Cumbrian Coast route. There were waiting shelters on both platforms, which are linked by a footbridge. There's also step-free access available on the southbound side, where the main entrance is located. The town of Harrington is a quiet coastal retreat with a harbour dating back to 1760. The town once had ironworking, coal mining, steel making, and shipbuilding as its industries. At its height, the town had 5 railway stations, but only one is still in use today. A decline in manufacturing industry saw the harbour's usage drop dramatically during the latter part of the 19th century. Eventually, the harbour was sealed off and used as a reservoir for a nearby magnesium works. The secret magnesite plant at Harrington was set up during World War II by the Ministry of Aircraft Production to extract magnesium from seawater for use in aircraft components and incendiary bombs. At the time, it was only one of two plants in the country, making some 40,000 tonnes per annum. Today, Harrington has a population of about 6,000, and it's largely a dormitory town for the employees of local shops and offices, as well as light industry found in Workington and Whitehaven. As was the case in Parton, we again have a lovely approach as the train moves along the coast towards the station at Harrington. Well, it's been another lovely day out on the Cumbrian Coast. It is a privilege to be able to visit such beautiful places so close to home. I've been interested in trains since I was a child, and it's really special to visit busy stations with lots of trains and plenty to see and do. But there's also something really special about visiting these rural stations. For a railway enthusiast, just being able to spend some quality time at these places, along with the communities that they serve, makes this such a rewarding and worthwhile pastime. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video from Parton and Harrington. So until the next time, from me, Stephen Bennett, take care. Bye bye.